Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and I'm going to be reading your tea leaves today. Okay, this is a horoscope for Virgo. So if that is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising placement, this is a message for you. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. So if you are new to the channel and this is your first video you're watching, thank you so much for joining me. It's great to have new people checking out the readings. I hope that they resonate with you. If you are returning or already subscribed, I thank you so much for the support. And I also hope the videos are resonating. I hope the readings are speaking to you. If you would be so kind as to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what is resonating with you, what is speaking to you. What kinds of symbols are you seeing in the cup? Did I miss something, or are you just kind of vibing with it in a different way? All right. Let's see. This one has some good formations. Seeing a couple of things. Let's see where we should start. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. And this is mostly intuitive, but also, okay, I see a figure kind of like in movement with the arm up, reaching, kind of almost like gliding towards what I don't know exactly, because we have to look at the bowl a little bit more. But this speaks to me. It really has the energy of Mercury. Okay, so Hermes, Mercury, the god, Roman, Greek god. And so Mercury would be the Roman version. Hermes is the Greek version. Okay, and so that is the god of a messenger god. My goodness. Yes, messenger god. A bit of a trickster, right? Very interrelated with, I had my brain just stopped on me for a second. Very, like, usually we relate Mercury to a younger male, right? Masculine, but also kind of like, as far as like a gender identity, almost very like fluid, ambiguous, kind of androgynous to some degree. What else? Oh yeah, and the overseer, and I believe the overseer of Crossroads, I could be wrong, but definitely the patron of travelers. Okay, so here's like a thing. My husband wouldn't mind me telling you this, but when he moved out to where we lived in two separate places, and he moved across the country basically to be with me. He made a talisman of Mercury to put in the car to, basically to bless and keep his travels swift and safe, right? So this is an example of, kind of the thinking, the relation with Mercury. Okay, so in this case, I'm thinking Mercury is more of like a communication. Okay, so sometimes when Mercury comes up in your synchronicities, symbols, omens, I would say that there is a message coming for you. And I'm not talking about this reading, but there's something coming into your life soon. And it's going to be a message for you. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to be like a formal, actual, like, message, like you're going to get an email, a phone call, that kind of thing, or if something's going to happen in your life that's really going to be kind of a wake-up call. Okay, I'm not super sure. And actually, let me see. Okay, so I had to plug the camera in. My last reading went a little long. Okay, so we're talking about a message coming for you. So basically, I think that you just really need to keep your eyes and ears open. There's something coming soon. I don't know what it is, but this figure of Hermes is moving to the right. So that's something that is happening soon, and it is something in the near future. Okay, so let's look and see if we can get maybe some clarity about what this is. But I think that, I don't know. I mean, I've looked around the bowl. I don't see anything like, I just want to ease your anxiety from the side. I don't think it's going to be super bad news or anything. But I do see that something is coming, and to prepare yourself, or just keeping a lookout for that. Okay? And now I want to look around here. I really like this one up here, and I think I'll go next with it. Okay, so I have this okay, so this one here looks like a vulture to me, just right off the bat, with the bald head, the little beak, the body. Okay, and you know, I think a vulture gets a really bad rap. Okay, we think of a vulture very much related with death. Okay, because you know that's what they do. They are scavengers. They will eat dead things, and you know, for food, for sustenance. And so when we see a vulture, I think sometimes your mind goes straight to, okay, is death, you know, kind of lingering around, and in relation to this message coming, that could be scary. But let me again ease your mind. I don't think this is about death. I think a vulture, in this posture especially, it's looking up, it's not looking down. Okay, so I think that this is more of a symbol, and this is related to you and your personality. I think that this is a symbol of resourcefulness. I think it's somebody that is just has a lot of strength and ability to get through some really hard, harsh environments, ordeals. I think that you're a very fortified person. I think that you've probably had more stuff go on in, like, difficult stuff go on in your life than somebody, you know, that somebody your age usually has gone through. Okay, so you've had more things, had more hardships, you've probably had, you know, some traumatic things going on in your life. And I think that you just have really become, you know, I don't think that you're like necessarily like a super solitary person, but I think that you feel it sometimes a little alienated, like you can't connect to people because you've been through so much. Okay, and but at the same time, I think that you very easily can communicate with others. I think that you enjoy people, but I think that sometimes it's harder for you to relate to them on a deeper level. But when you do find your people, the person or people that you do really relate to, I think that it's a very like long lifetime kind of friendship, or your relationships are very involved and serious. Okay, and I really see that you just, you just have like an armor on a lot of the times. And I think that that could be, that can be really tiring to have to be like that. And always, protecting yourself, protecting your family. I think that that's really the energy that I'm getting. I don't think that this one really is related to it's not related to this news. I think this is more of just like telling me who you are, okay? And I think that relaying that to you helps you decide if this if this reading is about you, okay? And now let's see, what else do we have? I want to see if we can see what that message is going to be about. Or, some kind of idea. Now, this one up here, I saw it or like when I was kind of rotating the cup, and I really am interested in it. This one is really beautiful. I hope that you can see it the way that I'm seeing it. It looks like, now this reminds me of the artist Mobius. If any of you are familiar, he was a cartoonist, and like he did like comic book kind of style stuff. Not like the normal comic booky stuff that you would think of, but like pulp or whatever. This is like very more artistic, and you can look him up. His name is Mobius, and I think it's Moebius. Mobius. I don't know. Just look him up. His artwork is beautiful. He did artwork for Dune. That's fairly popular. A project that never was finished, but he did like the movie. What are those called? I don't know what they're called for the scenes, but like the picture boards, storyboards, I think. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm a really big fan of art, so just all kinds of art. So I could just go on and on. But anyway, so this reminds me of like probably more than one of his drawings, but this looks like a person sitting kind of cross-legged, and it looks like they have almost like a robe or like a long jacket, and they're kind of sitting leaning forward with their hand up a little bit, and maybe this will help. And it looks like they're almost kind of like speaking to or in communication with this kind of, I thought fire, like a fire, but it almost like in my mind's eye kind of seems just like like almost like a holograph or holographic kind of like entity, like, or some kind of orb. Or so anyways, I think that this really, and the placement on the bowl tells me that this is something within the higher thinking. This is in the spiritual realm, metaphysical, maybe communing with like your guardian angel, or whatever intelligence or entity you commune with that is tied into the divine, or God source or whatever. So your consciousness maybe, or your conscience, whatever you call it, whatever paradigm you relate to, or paradigms. So I think that in this little scenario here, I really feel like you're really, and maybe, I hope that wasn't out of focus for too long. These ones on the edge really, they lose focus so easily. Let me get in here. There we go. Okay, so I feel like you're really in a mode of interior work, and I think you've been making kind of appeals, maybe some praying, asking for some guidance. And I think that is coming to you. And I think that you're, maybe this is what that message is. Maybe I think that you're going to be getting some input from, something, your daemon, your higher self, or thinking, something beyond yourself, possibly. I think that you're going to be in communication with something that's going to be helping you. I think that there's like almost a sense of like education, to be educated, to, maybe like a revealing, a lifting of a veil, that type of thing. But I feel that it's very close. It's intimate. This is something that you are familiar with. This isn't going to be like, something showing up in your bedroom in the middle of the night you've never seen. It's like some spooky, alien or something. Nothing like that. Let's see. Go on. Okay. And let's see. Where was I at? So I think that there's going to be some insight coming or it's already happening. And you're getting some clarity about some things that have been important work for you, or maybe cycling into a new phase of self-work. Okay, and I think this is going to be important information. I'm going to look and see exactly. No, I think this one is like a seated dog. It almost looks like, it reminds me of like Anubis. This one, like a seated dog, its face, its nose, legs, its little hind legs kind of laying there. So this is in kind of a restful, casual posture. And I think that this to me ties into this need for self-protection. And I think that it seems like a reoccurring theme in this cup is this, like, you feel like you really need to protect yourself. You're vigilant. I feel like there's a sense of vigilance. And I wonder if this self-work that is happening has to do with, I feel like maybe a blockage, I feel like you just have not felt in the flow place, especially with your interior work. And I think that part of this cup is telling me, part of it is because you just have a really, really hard time letting go of letting the walls come down. You have trouble letting go of, the beliefs and coping mechanisms, the things that bring you a sense of security. And some of that stuff sometimes, although, it has kept you safe, ultimately, sometimes that stuff doesn't allow you to grow. Okay. And I think this, and I'm going to show you this card really quick. This is the card the Temperance card that I pulled for this reading to kind of give me the theme or the undertone of like what this reading was going to have to do with. And I think this is perfect because I think that this is going to be a lot about tempering these coping mechanisms, the things that come up when you're feeling kind of triggered. I think that, there might be some, old trauma, and you just really have, your brain is wired in such a way that you go into these like very self-protective modes, and that you have maybe, some beliefs about life and yourself and the world and stuff that really put you into this offensive in a position, you're in a defensive position, but you also go into the offense really easily. And I think that you probably are, somewhat, you're maybe standoffish. I wouldn't say you're necessarily a super combative person, but you're not going to be pushed around, right? You're not going to let anybody, step on your toes. And but you also probably don't let people get very close to you either. And we kind of talked about that. I think that, you like people, you like the idea of people, you are, I don't know, maybe kind of a mixture of extroverted, introverted, whatever. But I think that it's hard for you to really like be at ease with other people. And I think that, that's going to be part of this blockage that's happening. I think that in this interior work, though, I think that this is going to be a focus of maybe even finding some techniques to rewire some of those reactive things that happen with you. I'm not going to sit here and like tell you what kind of therapies I've been in, but I've had to do some of this different kinds of therapy specifically for like PTSD type stuff. And there are things out there that you can go and look it up online. There are different kinds of, you don't have to go to therapy to do them, but there are things like workbooks and that kind of stuff. If you are privileged enough to have access to therapy, that might be something that can go along with this spiritual and self-work that you have, you've undertook. If you aren't already doing that. Okay. And I don't ever want to offend anybody. I'm not telling, this is a reading for whoever it relates to. I don't ever want to tell anybody, oh, hey, you need therapy or whatever. But, I'm a big advocate for everybody trying therapy at some point. If you have really difficult stuff or, whatever, if you just need to if you want to check it out to see what it's about, it doesn't matter. I think anybody could benefit from talk therapy or there's such a spectrum of kinds of therapy out there. It's actually kind of cool how many different things, you can get into. Okay, let's see. What else? I'd like to see. This one looks like a cricket. Oh no, is it a cricket? No, a grasshopper. I always mix this up. This last summer, my daughter has been so into crickets and grasshoppers, and I would always mix them. She'd be like, "That's a cricket, Mom." And she's, didn't say that clearly. She's young. She's 2.5 now, but she knew the difference, and Mommy would get it mixed up. So these little babes, I like to call them, our little backyard spirits, are just glorious. I love them. I love watching them go through their growth from, not having their wings to becoming adults, and they have these beautiful wings and can kind of fly. They kind of like drift a bit, flutter. But what I am relating this to, and the immediate imagery that comes to my mind, is just all these crickets in the middle of the afternoon, just kind of sunning themselves on leaves. They're eating, and they're especially when I would water the plants out back, they would come out and they kind of like linger in the dew and water and sit in the sun and kind of just, be very zen. I always thought of them as being very zen. And so I think that there's just this, I feel like part of this, your desire, your goal is to kind of be a calmer, more present person. And I think that this is very much related your end goal, or not end goal, but part of the goal that you are going towards, right? And I think that part of the blockage to getting to this more, emotionally regulated, less reactionary, just kind of moments of contentment, being present, and, really enjoying the small, subtle, the awe that is woven into the subtle, right? I think that that's where we're seeing the blockage of this kind of hypervigilance. It's very hard to get to those states when you have to constantly be, alert and vigilant and on edge and really feeling like you need to protect yourself all the time. And I think, this work, these transmissions that are coming your way are going to help you kind of find some outlets and techniques to figure out how to, manage some of those feelings. Okay. And, I really think that, that's a worthwhile thing for any and all of us to work on. We all deserve more peace in our lives. Okay. And now I just want to look at this one here. This one to me looks like, it looks like a sheep or a goat. I think a sheep. And I actually had a sheep in my last reading, and I feel like it's kind of the same thing, kind of almost as a cricket, is that it's this desire to be more serene, and I talked about this, like, scene of kind of a field and just kind of eating and being at ease, going with the flow, and just being content without these super high highs and low lows, just kind of just being able to be there, be in the present, and, even just a quiet atmosphere. And I think that, I think that's something that you really desire, and I really feel, I feel like that is, that's something that a lot of us desire, and it's hard for a lot of us. I mean, the world that we live in, the nature of, the nature of our world, the way that we interact with things, how fast paced everything is, everything's so loud and bright, and, it just, people are wound up. The kinds of things that we are taking into ourselves, media and how we socialize, and, just the stress of everything else, financial stuff, the economy, whatever, it's all a lot. It's all a lot. We have a lot to worry about. And just finding a reprieve from that, and finding a way to have a reprieve, that is some big work. Okay. And I feel like you're in that place where that's kind of what, that's your focus right now. And I hear you and I understand you. And honestly, I get it, because I am a solar Virgo. And as much as this is a reading for other people, I feel like it totally, if I heard this, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I am, that is also me. Okay. I'm seeing 1, 2, and then this one, 1, 2. Let's see. Do I have a 1, 2, 1, 2? And it looks like, and then the 1, 2, 3, and the 1, 2. I feel like this is like, it's like asymmetrical. I feel like it's getting, just with a little bit of tinkering, the whole configuration of the things that you're trying to do and where you're trying to get to are really going to, line up, and it's going to be, we're going to find that symmetry that we really, really desire. Okay. And I don't think that's, I don't think it's going to be overnight, and definitely this is like a lifelong process. And I apologize. My daughter is, I'm going a little long tonight in my reading. So, she is ready to take over the house again. So, anyways, let's see, where are we? So I think that just, it's going to take some tinkering. I think you're going to have to try out some different things. Be that like we talked about, maybe therapeutic therapy things, meditation, breathing, I don't know, journaling. These are all there are a lot more nuanced things as well to look into, and I'm just throwing some stuff out there. But I think the other part of this, the big part of this too, and I was seeing in this reading, is that there's going to be some intervention from like a higher source, or what we perceive to be a higher source. So that daemon, that higher self, something coming through in dreams, visions, inspiration. I think that, really paying attention to the signs, patterns, like I said, the flow of imagery in your mind, the active imagination thing, all those kinds of things. I think those are all valid ways to access that communication, and I think that's really, that was highlighted in this reading. That's going to be a really, important source of finding some of those techniques to help you get through this blockage that you have right now. And ultimately, getting closer to the goals that you have of a little bit of contentment, peace, and healing. Okay. All right. So, I think that's that's the reading that I have for you tonight, Virgo. Let me think. I think I pretty much went over all of my thoughts about it, and I'm just going to go ahead and thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate the time that you spend watching these videos. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you, and hopefully they're resonating, and if they are, please come back and look for your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising placement. These different readings will kind of, maybe focus on different parts of your life and create a more dynamic picture for you. And if you would go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, it helps me get into the algorithm and get this video to more people, and hopefully resonates with more people, So, the other thing, if you are on Facebook and you're interested in following the page, it is Ula Tea Leaf Readings. On Instagram, Ula of the Tea. And if you're interested in a private reading, there is an email in my description, and you can go ahead and email me and we'll set that up. Okay. Thank you so much, Virgo, and I hope that you are having a most wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this video. This is Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and I thank you so much.